Hello and welcome. Today we are starting a new series. This series is again going to be relevant for the people who are studying for API ICP examinations. That is either API 570, API 510, 653, and also for the people who just want to learn about pressure relieving devices. Now, this document is in the body of knowledge for all ICP examinations. It is also the part of body of knowledge for API 570, 510 and 653. But API 510 is the only document, or API 510 body of syllabus or body of knowledge mentions that the entire API 576 is subject for examination. That means if you are studying for pressure vessels, in that case this document you'll have to read and understand at least once. But if you are working towards getting API 570 or piping inspector examinations, in that case, the examination syllabus tells us that API 576 only these sections are relevant. So section 5 is relevant, 6.1 to 6.3 is relevant, 8 is relevant, and 10.1 to 10.3 is relevant if you are studying for API 570 examination. If you are studying for API 653 examination, in that case, the safety relief valve is important, and inspection, testing, maintenance and setting of weight loaded pressure or vacuum vents on tank is important. So this means depending on what is your goal at the end of the day. If you are studying for 510, then obviously the entire series would be important for you. If you are not studying for API 510, in that case the entire document or entire playlist is not important for you. In that case, you'll just go on for the relevant parts and you'll just look at those videos, okay? But in this series, you'll be understanding about the entire document of API 576. So, again, API 576, you have some forewords, you have some index. So in this index, you can understand that first is scope, which is normally the case. Second is normative references. Third is terms and definitions. Fourth is pressure relieving device. This means this document will tell you about all the pressure relieving device. It will also give you some nomenclature that has been established by API for pressure relieving devices. So it is rather than a technical guide than a code. It's not a code, it's a well written technical document that provides us multiple things. It's a well detailed and a comprehensive technical document. It introduces API terminologies, and it also refers to some other codes which are not the part of body of knowledge for API ICP examinations, but they are there. It is generally a lot of text. Technical descriptions are given for various kinds of pressure relieving devices. Various photographs are given here. This is going to be mainly useful for your closed book examination, and in some cases open book examination can also be coming in from API 576. So in this case, the section 4 is going to be pressure relieving devices. Section 5 is going to be causes for improper performance of your pressure relieving devices. This means in most cases API ICP examination is generally going to be for in-service examinations. Whenever you're doing in-service examination, all the pressure relieving devices also should be checked. Depending on what is the condition of that pressure relieving devices, there is a high chance that this pressure relieving devices might not work the way they are suspected to be or with the way they are expected to be. In that case, we'll need to check before installing these valves or pressure relieving devices, so that we can understand that whatever the design requirements of that pressure relieving devices are going to be met, and they do not have any causes that it can do improper performance or it can fail in the future. You'll have to check that as well. Next is how you are going to do the inspection for pressure relieving devices. There is something known as pop test, pre-pop test, setting of discs, and all of these things are there. So section 6 will lay down all of these requirements. Section 7 is inspection and replacement of ruptured disc devices. 8 is pressure relief valve, visual on steam inspection. 9 is inspection frequency, and 10 is records and reports. So all of these things are going to be important for us. We are not going to concentrate on annexes because annexes will generally give you some additional data for your pressure relieving devices, but The entire document is subjected if you are working towards pressure vessel inspector examinations. But if you are working for piping or tank inspection, then this is not that important. Only some sections are important here. Next is scope. So scope, this entire document is for pressure relieving devices. So this recommended practice describes the inspection and repair practices for self-actuated pressure relieving devices commonly used in oil and gas and petroleum industries. So this generally gives us a recommendation that how inspection and repair should be carried out for pressure relieving devices in generally oil and gas and petroleum industry, because that is the intent of API organization. This publication does not cover training requirements for the personnel involved in inspection and repair of pressure relieving devices. Those seeking this requirement should see API 510 and 570, which give the requirement for quality control system and specify that the repair organization maintain and document a training program ensuring that the person are qualified. Next is normative reference. So there are some references that are given here. There are some terms and definition. Obviously terms and definition, some things you have to remember, you'll obviously have to read it once. But the term like back pressure, over pressure, blow down, all of these things just have to remember once. Okay. CDTP, that is cold differential, test pressure, design pressure, galling, all of these things are given here. So these are just the definitions that are given out of this. So that's it in this video. In this video we just talked about what is the intent of this document, and for ICP examinations what part of these documents are going to be important for depending on what ICP examinations you are going in for. But again, this series is going to be for the entire document. So that's it for this video. In the next video we'll be talking about what are some different types of pressure relieving devices. We'll be going towards section 4 in the next video, and that's it. Thank you. Have a great day.